How's it going, my luxury lads and ladies? My name is Pernell, aka PJ, and welcome to Life in Lux. So as y'all can see by me and the title of this video, boy's bald-headed. Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, as y'all can see, I don't have locks anymore. And today's video is just going to kind of explain the reasons why I cut my locks off and just like what specifically made me cut my locks. All right, so I'm gonna start off by saying like this was definitely not easy. It took me a while to, first of all, post this video. I've been just real hesitant on posting this video, number one. And two, the journey it just hasn't been easy, like within itself. It's been a big change, and since that change, there's also been a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that just stopped me in my tracks from making this video. So I'm just gonna go ahead and like get into it and everything. But yeah, so at the beginning of this year, around like March or April, I was talking to God, and I pretty much told him that by the end of this year, I want to be completely unrecognizable. And I didn't know that when I prayed that prayer, it was going to involve me cutting my hair off. I just told God that I wanted to just be completely unrecognizable. Because for me, for the past couple of years, I'll say I've been in kind of the same headspace. I had been dealing with the same things, and I had been kind of living the same life. And I didn't really feel no satisfaction or fulfillment from that. So I just wanted something different for myself. And I just told God, I was like, I just want to be different. By the end of this year, like I want to be unrecognizable, not only to other people, but to myself. I feel like I had got too comfortable with like who I was. So fast forward to, I'll say last month, I was just on my phone and just randomly on my phone, I got this notification, and the title of the video was Unrecognizable. It was a podcast by More Purpose Podcast, if any of you guys know who they are. And in that podcast, Clarence, one of the hosts, he was talking about how he was also talking to God about becoming unrecognizable. And so pretty much what Clarence was saying was that God was kind of telling him, yo, if you want to be unrecognizable, you're going to have to cut your hair off. For him, his hair was like a really big part of his identity and like who he was. He said that he's always had hair. So when God told him to cut his hair off, it was something that was like really, really big. And I resonated with that too, because growing up, like I've always had like really good hair. At one point I had really nice waves. Like I had like crazy 360s. Like I'm not even trying to like boast or anything like that, but my waves are like low-key crazy. So I had like really good waves, and then I grew my hair out, and then I had like really nice curls. I grew it into an afro, had really nice curly hair, and then that's when I locked up my hair. And I had my locks for almost 3 years. November next month would have made 3 years. So like for me, like my hair has been like a really big part of my identity. And also I grew up in an African church, and if any of you guys know, like Africans, they don't like hair. Like they don't like when men have like long hair. If you grow your hair out too much, they call you Akata boy, and they just like to like paint this like negative picture on you, like if you do have like really long hair, like as a guy. So like I never really got to, like once I started growing out my hair, I never wanted to really go back to waves, because like I finally had the freedom to just grow out my hair and do as I please. But one thing they say is your locks, right? Your locks are a part of your spiritual journey. And one thing about my lock journey is that before I even started my locks, I was going through a lot. I was already struggling with like the same sin. I was in the same cycles, and I was very like down and depressed. And I feel like as I grew with my locks, all of that energy, all of that spirit, like all of those like those bad spirits, all of that bad energy kind of just like stayed within my hair, and it kept me, and it walked with me, and it grew with me. And I could never like fully release myself of the darkness that I was going through. There was a lot of heartbreak during the time I had my locks. There was a lot of pain. There's a lot of struggling, and there was just a lot of like self-hatred that I had like when I had my locks. So my spiritual journey just really didn't represent anything good, if I'm being 100% honest. So me really cutting my locks is releasing myself of like that past version of me, and like just all the things that I went through, and just like all the times that I looked at myself in the mirror and I hated who I saw. I hated myself so much because of like just what I was doing to myself. And like there would be times where I want to do something, like I want to act on something, but it's just I can't. I don't have the motivation. I feel lazy. I'm laying down. I'm wasting time, and I'm not acting on anything, and I'm just procrastinating, and my life is getting worse. I'm just like, God, like what is it? And honestly, I think I just really just needed that change to finally be able to just step out of like who that was. There was a point when I had my locks where I went like 2.5 months, like no haircut, like no upkeep, no self-care, like none of that. And it's not because of my locks that I was doing these things, but it's more so like how I was during this process of my locks. And my locks kind of just like didn't really represent anything good, and I couldn't see that in the moment. So for me, it was really hard. And after I listened to that podcast, like I didn't really think too much of it. You know, like I said, like I did get a little curious though. And I used to go around and ask like some friends. I was like, what would you do if I cut my hair? Like, what would you do if I cut my locks off? And a lot of them were like, nah, bro, don't cut your locks. Like you just started growing these, like we're gonna grow them long and like all this type stuff. But in the back of my mind, I was like, how would I look if I did cut my locks off? Or what would I do like if I really did cut my locks off? So I'll fast forward to a couple weeks ago. I was on my phone, and then I came across this video, and it was this dude who was giving his life to Christ. And in that video, he cut his locks off. Now, previously, I had told God about 2 days before that, I was like, God, if I scroll on my phone and on the first 7 posts on my timeline, like let me see somebody cutting their locks off. So I kind of gave God like an ultimatum, like if you show me somebody cutting their locks off within these 7 posts, then I'll cut my hair. And when I didn't see it, I was like, okay, cool, like I don't have to cut my locks off. But it's like, when you think about it deeply, why would something be tugging on me so much if it wasn't something that I just might be calling, like if it's not something that I just might be needing to do? Like, why would God tug on me so much to cut my hair if it wasn't something that he probably wanted me to do for the betterment of like myself and who I was? So I saw that post the 2 days after, and I was like, okay. I was like, I'll take this as like maybe like my sign or something. In my mind, I still didn't make it up fully that I was gonna cut my hair, but I prayed again, and I was like, Lord, I had to go pick up my brother from school and take him to his friend's house because they had a football game. So I was like, Lord, while I'm taking my brother to his friend's house, let me see 2 to 3 green cars on the road. I had just did my cousin's birthday photo shoot, and she was turning 23. So I was like, let me see 2 to 3 green, like really bright, like really nice green, like cars while I'm driving on the road. So as I go and take my little brother to his friend's house, I kid you not, like a minute into the drive, 1.5 minutes, maybe even 2 minutes into the drive, I look to the left and I see one like bright green, not even like bright green, like one like really nice green SUV truck. And I just started smiling. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. As I turned my head from that SUV back to the road, I just see this really big green like tractor trailer just pass by at the traffic light. And I was just like, whoa. But then I was like, God, like I didn't say tractor trailer. I don't want it to be a tractor trailer. I just wanted it to be cars, because I wanted God to be like really specific with me, like when it came to this thing. Because I was like, if you're going to tell me, like you're going to make it very clear. And I just really want God to make it very clear, because like, you know my heart, you know who I am, you know what I'll understand. So God, make it very clear to me. I don't want a truck. So I'm going to take him to his friend's house, and there's traffic on the way back. And Junior, he says, no, it's too much traffic, like go the other way. So I take what he said is like God speaking through him to me. So I end up going the other way after I dropped him off. Then I end up seeing 2 more green cars, but they weren't the green that I was looking for. So I was like, God, like this isn't the green I'm looking for. They were really dull. And I was like, Lord, like if you're going to do this, like you're going to make it very, very clear. So I end up going home, and I don't see like 2 more. I don't see any more like cars after that. So I'm just like, maybe God like really isn't telling me to like cut my hair off. My mom calls me. She's like, PJ, I'm hungry. And I was like, okay, I'll order pizza. All right, so I told my mom that I would just get Papa John's. And I don't usually get Papa John's because we usually get Domino's. Domino's is like literally 2 minutes down the street. So I would have said Domino's, but something in me was saying like, yo, just go get Papa John's. So I was like, okay, I'll just go get Papa John's. And as I go, I'm on the way to Papa John's, and I just pray one more prayer. I'm like, God, the day is not over, and I know if you're gonna do this, you're gonna show me. So I say that prayer, and maybe like 3 to 4 minutes later, I look to my right, and it's just a bright green car like on the right side. I'm like, whoa, I just started smiling. I start screaming, I'm like, I'm like, okay, God. And I was like, if it's 3, I know it's you for a fact. And I just literally drive up like a minute down the street on the right side again. Boom, another green car. I at least scream. I'm like, there's no way. And all of that, because I like deep down inside, like I didn't want to cut my hair, but also deeper than that, I needed to cut my hair. So it was just like really big to me. And literally as soon as I pulled into the Papa John's, like there was a green car like sitting in the parking spot like waiting for me. So like God gave me more than like 3 cars. He gave me 4 at that point. And I was like, oh, okay, so God, you want to be funny now? He's like, oh, you want a green car? I'll give you another one. I'll give you another one. And I just thought like his humor like in that moment was like really cool and like really funny. But so I ended up getting the pizza and I started driving home. And as I drive home, there's one last green like SUV truck. And honestly, I think it's the same SUV truck that I saw the first time. And it was just like how you start off is like how you finish type thing. And I saw that and I was like, wow, like God, you're crazy. So it actually like ended up turning like into the lane that I was driving into, and it was like driving behind me. So I have a picture and I'll put that picture up like right here in the video so that y'all can see like the type of green that I was talking about. But I say like all of this to say like in this whole story to say like this is all like a testament of like what being obedient does. Like in the moment, it was just like crazy to me, and like knowing that God was able to just like speak to me and I was able to like listen to him and like be like, yo, like I'm gonna cut my hair like because the Lord told me to, like I'm going to do it. When I got home, I took no time. I put the pizza on the table, I gave my mom her pizza slices, and I went into the bathroom. I closed the door, I grabbed the scissors, and I just started cutting. So y'all are gonna see a couple of those clips like running through this video of just like me like cutting my hair off. And it was hard, I will say. Like it was very hard in the beginning. The first one I cut off was like a little hard. As I cut more, it was hard. But then when I started cutting more like deeper into my hair, it was just like I was supposed to do this. And I didn't feel like the pressure that I was feeling before I started cutting my hair. So I'm grateful to God for that, because like once I cut it all off, and I'm grateful to God for that, because once I cut it off, I kid you not, I felt so light. It was like everything that I had been dealing with in my past, all the hurt, all the pain, all the struggling, like all the darkness that was going on, like just in my past had been like wiped away. So I just thank God for that, because like there was just a sense of freedom that I got from releasing myself of that. And I think that was just the first step of me doing that and becoming unrecognizable. So I'll probably grow my locks out later on down the line, but before I do, I just want to make sure that 1, it's something that God will allow me to do, and then 2, and I am in a better place spiritually before I do try to grow my locks back out. So if this video blessed you, just leave a comment down below, like the video if you can. It would be really appreciated. Subscribe to the channel. I'll have more videos coming up. I'll get into like some sewing projects later on down the line, some fashion stuff, fashion videos and all that, vlogs and everything. But if this video blessed you, please just leave a comment down below. If you need any prayer, if you're ever going through something, you can leave prayer down below, and I'll be here to support you through it all. I'll pray for you and all that. But yeah, that's the end of the video. That's my testimony, and that's kind of the story and like the reason why I cut my hair off, and really like what I was like letting go of. So yeah, so that's me. Y'all be blessed. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.